Hi guys, Asma here, and today I have for you another character update for the Herald of Agony Necromancer Roulette character. We hit level 91 and there have been a number of improvements to the passive tree as well as the items. So let's talk first about the passive tree, because that's where I think the biggest change happened, which was the Lone Messenger. So Lone Messenger is a node, is a keystone from the cluster jewels that allows you to only have one herald and no auras at all, but it significantly strengthens that herald. So 50% more effect of the herald buffs, 100% more damage from the herald skills with hits, 50% more damage over time, and also minions from herald skills deal 25% more damage. It's a huge increase to our damage. What we lost is banner as well as precision. So we lost the accuracy, that's why I took Resolute Technique, which is right here. I didn't need to waste any more than just that 1 point for it. And Resolute Technique makes it so that we have 100% hit chance with our Cyclone right now. That makes it so that we can easily stack the poisons and easily get the life gained on hit from the Cyclone. So that's an amazing thing. Another cool thing that I noticed about the Lone Messenger is that if you look at our chance to poison, so let me grab the Cyclone, let me take out the weapon. Basically, by default, Herald of Agony gives you 20% chance to poison on hit. With the Lone Messenger, that boosts it by 50%, the effect of Herald buffs, that makes it 30. And then Circle of Nostalgia, increased Herald of Agony buff effect, doubles. Basically, if you have 100%, then it doubles that increased amount. So instead of giving you 20, it actually gives you 30. So with double Circle of Nostalgia, that would have a 100% increased herald buff effect, you can actually get to 90% chance to poison without anything else. So all you need is just 10% chance to poison from something, right? So for example, here I need to anoint something on this. I could anoint something like, for example, Sanctuary, or I could anoint something from this side with a chance to block spell damage, like for example this. Deflection would be really nice, anoint, but I could also anoint like a chance to poison, like for example, like anything that has, for example, increased attack speed, 10% chance to poison. Yeah, that's something that that would work, for example, right? So just with an anoint or something, I could have 100% chance to poison on hit without even using poison or lesser poison. Because right now, because I'm using still Mortem Morsu before I switch to another weapon, I don't even need to use lesser poison or poison. I'm just using Cyclone, Cast Wall Channeling, Bone Offering, and faster attacks. So that's it from the Lone Messenger. Another thing we got is the Golden Rule. Golden Rule makes it so that poisons and bleeding I inflict is reflected to me. That makes it so that we can better stack our poisons for Herald of Agony, because basically we are doubling the poisons we are inflicting, which makes it much easier to maintain maximum stacks, right? We get +5 to maximum virulence here and +5 here, so we're getting up to 50, and we can actually maintain above 40 in packs of monsters when we're hitting a lot of things. So it actually works pretty well. With that, I also have a cool corruption here, which is corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you, so I don't need to look for it anywhere else. And then what else we're doing is anti-venom. Anti-venom makes it so that I'm unaffected by poison. It explains it in the gray text below. The buffs, debuffs, you are unaffected by can still be placed on you, but they will not. But they will actually not apply the effect. So I still have these poisons on me. They still buff the herald, but they do not deal any damage to me. I also get a bunch of chaos resistance from the Golden Rule and from this. This also gives me dex, which this build is very, very dex starved. And I have in total 45 chaos res before stacking the Golden Rule. I also have Soul Steel here for maximum res, and here this for another maximum fire res, so we're getting a bunch of that. I still want to get more life on this build, so I am thinking that I'm actually going to sacrifice some minion damage, like for example this is a bunch of clear speed, but if I can potentially get rid of that, then I could get a bunch more life, and then with a few more levels grab all of that Marauder life. and that would put me well above 6k, which is where I want to be. Other than that, you've seen the rest of the tree as it was. I think also I added this chance to block spell damage and some mana regen, because that's very useful. We definitely want some more spell block. If I can find spell block, here's what I want. I want a shield with more block, with spell block, and then so I would get like shaped shield with spell block and life gained on hit, something like that, and a bunch of life, maybe chaos res. That would be amazing. Other than that, I could get like endurance charges, +2 to max endurance charges. That would be also amazing. And then I put last one on the jade amulet or whatever amulet I happen to be wearing, and instead of that channeling skills have -2 total mana cost, I can get also extra mana leech or mana gained on hit. Mana and life gained on hit, I want to switch to having jewels with it, because I'm gonna be losing Mortem Morsu for something much better. I have an idea of how to solve the weapon. I think there is an insane potential for making a rare weapon. So you know there is a unique called Cold Point, right? Cold Iron Point, something like that. It gives you +3 to the level of physical spell gems, but it also makes it so that you don't deal any elemental damage, and it's a unique that doesn't do anything else. So instead of that, what it would be much better is to craft 3 prefixes on it, up to 3. I think 2 is realistic. 3 would be like a GG weapon, but you can craft +1 to all spell skill gems, +1 to chaos spells, and +1 to physical spells. And Herald of Agony is all of those, right? It's a spell, it's a chaos, and it's a physical. So you can actually get +3 from prefixes on a rune dagger. You basically need a rune dagger for it. Ideally level 65. If you can, like the better base, there is also a better base than this. That's all you care about is like attack speed and level around 65, right? 60. This one is level 68, right? Item level 68. But I think if I can find 65, that would be even better. So with fossils, there's a bunch of things we can get, but what we want is those 3 prefixes, or at least 2 prefixes for +2 to the level, and then we multi-mod it with minion speed, which we also benefit from, and with trigger socketed skills. And for trigger socketed skills, we will have Tempest Shield, Desecrate, and Projectile Weakness, and that would be an insane weapon. That's just absolutely insane. So we put, you know, multi-mod here, which is a suffix, and then minions have increased attack speed 28 up to 28%, which we also benefit from because of this spiritual command. Increases and reductions to minion attack speed also affect you. So that's amazing. We get like rare weapon with attack speed and also trigger socketed skill gems, and also it's a cold iron point at the same time. It's just, if I craft that, that's like beyond insane. That's a super GG weapon for this build. What else do we have here? Helmet, definitely want to get something with the Herald of Agony enchant, and like even plus like up to +3 to socketed minion gems. We're using here Summon Holy Relic, Meat Shield, and Minion Life just so that it doesn't die, and Calling Strike. We're using it mostly for like just extra damage and Calling Strike. It works very well. Then we have Tomb Fist, which gives me Intimidate, that is 10% more damage for our Herald of Agony, which is amazing. And we also maim enemies, which is also cool. Then we have a Victorious Charity, which I had last time for the Frenzy charges. If I remove this for the other shield that I want, then I will add Spectres, the Monkey Spectres that give me Frenzy charges. And I will need just, this is a useless socket, and this basically I will need to put 2 gems that will be the Spectre and the Blood Magic, I think, so that they cast often, and that's it. Boots, these boots are amazing. I crafted them on what is it, what's the item level? Item level is actually only 75, because yeah, actually you want low level you don't want higher level, because then also there are other mods that you don't want. You only want the socketed gems are supported by level 20 Fortify, which is the Eldritch tier 1 mod here, prefix. That way we don't have to put Fortify anywhere else, and our Cyclone is put here. And then I also got here some max life, 30% move speed, and some dex. This build really needs dex, and we craft hybrid resists. This is an amazing pair of boots for this build. So that's basically it. Flasks, just very standard. We got roomies because we're going block, and we're using Bone Offering all the time. So that's pretty much it. The build is clearing red maps very comfortably right now. Didn't do Cyrus on it yet because this is a very awkward build for doing Cyrus. Like, if you're looking for a boss killer for Cyrus, don't do this. If you want Herald of Agony, go one that is based on like a Ball Lightning or Stormbrand. Because if you need to like every single time get to Cyrus and spin on him in order to stack the poisons, you're gonna get really annoyed, and it's really difficult to do that. But for farming maps, this is actually surprisingly quick because of the Ascendancy. Plaguebringer brings us like some extra damage reduction around corpses. This is also why I want to have Desecrate cast on trigger, and then Projectile Weakness. Fitting that on the trigger cast will just basically just almost 50% more damage. It's an insane damage increase when we get that. So that's it. Hopefully next time I update this character, I'm gonna be able to show like Cyrus skills and clearing some T16s and things like that. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.